morning, afternoon, evening, as the case may be, in your part of the world, for those of you who don't, and all that happy horse shit. How you doing? Good morning, everybody. It is, for me, 8:30 in the morning. Just getting up. I've been watching documentaries. I don't have the TV anymore, so I watch Hulu, Crackle, but mostly I'm watching playlists on YouTube, which is something I hadn't done before. So it's really an interesting way to. It's all on demand. I select a playlist of the type of videos that I want to watch. I can have it auto-populate that playlist, or I can specifically add videos to it. And then I might have a couple hundred videos, and I just hit play all, and I can, just like watching TV, I can go and about my other daily business and just watch. You know, I find myself watching a lot of documentaries on a number of topics, including the production of happiness, synthesized happiness, cocoa beans, chocolate, fair trade, same thing with coffee, intelligence, animal intelligence, and a lot of stuff that I already knew and a lot of stuff that I didn't, all in documentary form. So it's very enlightening. So I've been doing that. The radio station is up and running currently, and is paid for a couple of months. So it's very little to pay for. It's like $5 a month, and that was somebody took care of 3 months of it. So it's paid for and taken care of, and that's given me something to do, along with just having the ability for somebody to tune in with their cell phone. This is connected through Wi-Fi right now, but if I take my phone and I go to my player, I use Winamp. I go to the player. It's got a cord here, so it's kind of hard for me to show you.
You're listening to Zen Live on the Zen Radio Network.
And that's coming from my cell phone. And anybody can tune in to Zen Live Radio on that player. That's Vintage Blue playing. And they're highlighted on the YouTube channel, which costs us nothing. So that's coming along pretty good. I signed up for a place called JustCast in order to do video broadcasting. Basically this. I'm going to put a green screen up behind me. I've got the material in the closet to do that. And then go ahead and do the shows. Maybe shave, clean up a little bit, and do live shows, scheduled live shows, morning shows with news of the day, on this day in history, odd news, your local weather, as well as highlighting independent music artists. You know, and it costs me virtually nothing to do that, and it gives me something to do on a daily basis. So that's what I've been doing with that. In between all of that, I have been ill, more ill some days than others. Today I'm doing okay. Last few days I've been doing okay. I've got a headache. Sitting at the computer does that to me sometimes. I've been eating pretty well. Since I made the liver and onions, that I don't know if I mentioned it to you or not, but I made liver. Well, I didn't have onions, so I had bacon, and so I made bacon with liver. And I ate an entire package of that on my own. Incredible amount of meat. And was able to keep it down and started feeling much better. Got the iron and stuff that I needed. And at this point, I feel pretty good. I feel like I'm making forward progress. But yesterday I made split pea soup, and about 2 hours later, whatever was left of it in my stomach all came back up. But, you know, these things happen. But I'm doing pretty well. I've been having kibasi and liver and that kind of stuff. The downside is that I'm not able to get out to the grocery store in order to get more of it. My car license is $70-some, and was supposed to be. It expired at the end of December, and I don't have the money to get the license, and I don't dare go out on my driveway with it because at this point I have insurance of like $30 that I have to pay, and have the license. So that's $100 that I don't have. And if I take the van out and it gets stopped, they'll impound it. They'll tow and impound it, and then I'll have impound fees that are about $7 a day, plus the towing costs for them impounding it, and I just don't have it. So it's sitting in the driveway and I'm not driving it. I don't have anybody else to take me anywhere that I need to go, and I can't walk to get there. So on the rare occasion that maybe I can get somebody to pick something up for me while they're out, then that's what happens. And of course, I don't get to go along, so I can't choose what I want to. I just say, hey, can you pick me up a jug of this, or a loaf of bread, or whatever. So that's more difficult. I don't have the transportation anymore. Right now, I'm on my last pack of Dean smokes. They're $1.50 a pack. I'm on my last pack, and the store's far enough away that I couldn't. Even if I was able to walk, I couldn't walk to get there. So I'm going to have to try to talk to one of my roommates to see if I can get a ride while they're going out. They'll take me by there so I can get some more smoke. I still have my Christmas present, my vape kit, and I still have quite a bit of juice for it. So if worst comes to worst, I can use it. It's not the same, but I can use it. So that's where I'm at financially and physically. I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm kind of hindered right now because I don't have transportation and I can't walk. But it is what it is. I've got some, still have some kibasi and liver and stuff in the freezer, some hot dogs and stuff, and I've got some canned goods. So I should be okay with that. So in between all of this, I've been checking in over here at Vloasis and on YouTube and stuff. Kenny, you have brought up a number of issues, including the use of Bloggerheads' name. You brought up psychobabble, suspension, your suspension. It's just the same old shit that you always bring up. While screaming that you don't want any part of the drama, you're creating drama. Nobody else is talking about those things. Nobody else is bringing them up. You are. And if they are at other places, you're dragging it here instead of discussing it there where it should be. So yes, you're creating drama. And of course, it gives Jim something to do. Psychobabble. So, he's more than happy to respond. He actually, in my opinion, he enjoys those fisticuffs, and I won't lie. There are times when he gives me something to do too, just to come back, say something too. But it's not necessary. So my suggestion for that situation is this: why don't we all just agree to disagree? Jim, I'm sorry, Psychobabble, you accuse me of making some statements about you that I never made. But you truly believe that I did. And I can't do anything about that. I exhausted myself trying to explain to you that I never said those things. You took words that I had spoken and you interpreted them differently than I meant them, and as a result you got angry with me, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just calling it the way I see it. And I'm sure that from your recollection, you're calling it from your perspective, you're calling it the way you see it. I don't get personal with you. I don't attack your health care and stuff, but it's just not the person I am. I have been guilty of that, and I shouldn't have done that. And for that, I am sorry. I still stand by the statements that I made. You made claims that you did stuff that I don't believe you did. Well, it's the same situation with Kenny. Kenny knows if he made those DMCAs or not. He's the only one that really does know if he did it. Is this something that's the kind of thing Kenny would do? Absolutely it is. We all know Kenny, and we know that he would pull that kind of shit. So it's hard to believe what he says when he says he didn't. But I've been in the same situation. I've been accused of fabricating an email and stuff that I know I didn't, but all pointers, everything points to, yeah, he did. And so there are people who don't believe that. No matter how much evidence I give them, they're never going to believe that I didn't create that email. So I can't do anything about that. I've done everything I can, so I've let it go. Well, the same thing is here. If he did or not, You just got to let it go. It's not really important in the greater scheme of things. It's really not important. If I said that Jim, Psychobabble, doesn't know anything at all about the internet, so what? If I did say that, which I didn't, but if I did, so what? What does it matter? It matters not. So it's just us just barking at one another. So why even bother? You know your side of the coin. I know my side of the coin. I don't believe you. And there's nothing that you can do to convince me that what you're saying is true. You bang your drum about how much you know. You are the person who knows the most about networks and internet and all this stuff than anybody else we have ever met. Now, you don't know the people I know. You don't know who I met. You don't know what I have done. So it's a ridiculous statement. Unless you believe that you are the only person who knows anything about that. Well, I think you learned that from somewhere, from somebody. And you didn't go to school to learn it, according to you. You're self-taught. So, if you did or not, so what? If I believe you or not, so what? So let's just let it go. Like Kenny, TV screams, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to discuss it. But he does. He still does. Well, I'm just defending myself. Well, you're still discussing it. If you truly don't want to discuss it, let him say whatever the fuck he wants to say, and just laugh at him and go on about your business. We can all of us, come up with our own decision about what's true and what isn't true. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. Big fucking deal. It doesn't affect anybody's day. I'm never going to buy Wi-Fi service from PB's service, ever. There's not a chance, no matter if I believe him or not, that's never going to happen. So why do you care what I believe about your knowledge of networks? Why do you care? I don't know. I don't care that you don't understand Minecraft. If you wanted to play, you're more than welcome to. I'd be happy to see you learn something about it, but if you don't, I don't care. It doesn't take any food off my plate. No skin off my nose. You don't know about Minecraft. You're uneducated and ignorant about that. Okay, big deal. There was a time when I was. There was a time when Kenny was. Kenny does stuff that, with Minecraft, I don't know how the hell he's doing what he's doing. But it's comparing apples and oranges. Comparing running a Minecraft server, administrating a server, and running an internet network hosting service. They're completely different things. So let's just know what you know and move on. I don't see where the problem is. And I just see people stirring and picking at one another. And I'm guilty of that some myself. I'm trying to do better. I've lost interest in it. It's a circular conversation. I know you are, but what am I? I'd like to think that we've become older and learned a little bit more about interacting with people. So that's my comments on that. Let's just let it go. If Phantom Vision misquotes something, so what? If Psychobabble misquotes something, so what? If I misquote something, so what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Who's winning that argument is dependent on where you're sitting. If I think I'm winning it, or Psychobabble thinks he's winning it, or Kenny thinks he's winning, it all depends on who you are deciding on it. And so everybody's claiming, a win. The truth of the matter is none of us are winning. There's nothing to win. And we're just spinning our wheels. If you truly don't want to be involved in it, then don't be involved in it. You just don't respond. You don't put your 2 cents in. I do laugh at some statements. You're sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong. You're in a public conversation on a public forum. And as such, that conversation is not private, but public. If you don't want it to be public, then communicate privately with the person that you're dealing with instead of in an open forum. But there is no you're sticking your nose in where you don't belong, because you made it available for them to belong. You invited them in to that conversation by having it publicly. And that's all around. I mean, I invite people to critique my situation by putting it out here. Now, my purpose for putting it out here is so my friends know what's going on with me, and so I can get some help when I need it, which I do, unfortunately. But by making it a public thing, then I also have to be open to people who don't agree with me, who think I'm stupid for the things that I'm doing, the choices I'm making, and telling me so, because I made it public. So that comes along with letting my friends know on a mass scale what's going on. It's the price that one has to pay. Frank, I was interested in your video that I thought was from Tim's comments. I thought was about Bloggerheads, but after listening to it and you making available and listening to it, it's really more about just vlogging in general. I think Bloggerheads is part of that, but it's and there are some misstatements. Again, it's different sides of the coin, what you heard and what you know and that kind of stuff. For instance, nobody was ever actually asked for credit card information for identification. However, in the early days, that was looked at as a possible way, a possible means to identify the people that were at that site, to guarantee who they were, in order to run from the trolls and stuff. Now, Bloggerheads was sold with multiple stories in order to bring multiple personalities in. You know, Paul Robinette, when he called me, the whole idea was to get everybody, the bad and the good, together and see if we couldn't just get along. And I was up for that. It later became a conversation about community-owned website, and I was up for that. I'd like to see that happen. I have run chat rooms and stuff that were community-directed, not owned, but community-directed. And basically, as you said in your video, what I did was, if there were enough people that were interested in the room taking this turn, the chat room being controlled this way, or adding these things, if there were enough people interested, then I went ahead and did it. So it was their input was thought about, considered, as well as the arguments against it, and then I made a decision about which way would go, as opposed to them voting on it. So, yeah, but Bloggerheads is a funny thing. You had people coming in running from trolls, and they got away from real trolls. And then they started identifying people they didn't like and people who disagree with them as being trolls, and so they got rid of them. And we think that's awful, but there are members here who have said, if I was in control, first thing I would do is weed out the troublemakers. Well, that's what they did. Unfortunately, you're the one they weeded out. You know, you were the one that was in the minority. So they're happy with Bloggerheads the way it is. Let them be happy. You know, if you don't want to be involved with it, just like the other things, just don't be involved with it. You know, standing outside, bitching and complaining and critiquing what they do on a site that they're running is silliness. So, there it is. And there's so much conversation here about what are we going to do about them? How are we going to help them? What are they doing now? Why is what they're doing bad now? Why? If you think you can make a better cup of coffee than Starbucks, put a store in across from Starbucks. Don't call it Starbucks 2. Just put a store across from Starbucks and do it better than they do. And eventually their customers will go, you know, maybe I'll try that place. And they'll find out, hey, this is actually better coffee. You know, this is actually fair trade, and this is, you know, this actually doesn't use child labor, and for those political reasons alone, I'm coming to this place. But stealing their thunder by taking their name or mimicking what they do. Silliness. Do it on your own. And Frank, you have. I have my own opinions about why and how and all that stuff. But be that as it may, obviously I'm happy here, or I wouldn't be here. I have an account at Bloggerheads. I don't go there often. I do some, and I go there as long as I can stomach the bullshit, and then I leave. I spend more time here with friends, with people who are friendly towards me, even when they don't agree. So there you go. Another 20-minute video, covers a lot of subjects. But I thought I'd just check in with you. I'm going to work towards getting the license on my car, paying my rent. I haven't paid anything to my rent yet, because what little money I've got to take care of priorities first, and then see if I've got enough to give my my landlord, who is not happy about waiting at all. He informed me the other day that he's got the paperwork ready to go, so I better do something. Do what I can, and that's all I can do. Till next time, as always, this is Zen saying you be well. I'll see you on the servers. There have been some servers gone up, some new servers have gone down, some servers in the background that have done some crazy stuff, and it's just all been weird with Minecraft. I'm not playing there much either. I'm having some internet issues, but I'm trying to stay connected and keep connected with you guys. Till next time, be well.